janavallabha girivaradhare Gopi janavallabha girivaradhare Yashodanandana vrajajanaranjana Yamunadhirachare Yamunadhirachare jāty-antara Gopi janavallabha girivaradhare Yashodanandana vrajajanaranjana Yamunadhirachare Yamunadhirachare Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Shri Radha Bhartasa Radhi Lalita Vishakha ki, Shri Gornitai ki, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki. All glories to the Assembly Devotees, all glories to Emless, all glories to Emless, Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga, Jai Shri. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 8, entitled The Character of Bharat Maharaja, and we will read the verses from 22 to 26, yes? Please read in Hindi.
Hari Bol. Should I read word meaning?
As you like, from 22 to 26.
Oh, I should read all these
Yes.
purports also, all the purports. Okay. तो श्लोक संख्या 22 है. जब मैं यज्ञ की समस्त सामग्री को कुश पर रखता तो यह मृग खेल खेल में कुश को अपने दांतों से छूकर अपवित्र कर देता. जब मैं मृग को दूर हटाकर डांटता डपटता तो वह तुरंत डर जाता और बिना हिले डुले बैठ जाता मानो ऋषि का पुत्र हो. तब वह अपना खेल यानी क्रीड़ा बंद कर देता. तात्पर्य: महाराज भरत मृग के क्रियाकलापों का निरंतर चिंतन करते रहे और ये भूल गए कि ऐसे ध्यान से तथा चित्त के हटने से उनकी आध्यात्मिक उन्नति नष्ट हो रही है. श्लोक संख्या 23 है. इस प्रकार एक पागल की भांति बोलते हुए महाराज भरत उठे और बाहर निकल गए. धरती पर मृग के पथ चिन्हों को देखकर उनकी प्रशंसा में अत्यंत प्रेम से कहा: अरे अभागे भरत, इस पृथ्वी के तप की तुलना में तुम्हारे तप तुच्छ हैं, क्योंकि पृथ्वी की कठोर तपस्या से ही उस पर इस मृग के छोटे छोटे सुंदर अत्यंत कल्याणकारी तथा मुलायम पद चिन्ह बने हुए हैं. पद चिन्हों की यह श्रेणी मृग बिछोहे से दुखी मुझ जैसे व्यक्ति को दिखा रही है कि वो पशु इस जंगल से होकर किस प्रकार आगे गया है और मैं उस खोई हुई संपत्ति को किस तरह पुनः प्राप्त कर सकता हूँ। इन पद चिन्हों के कारण ये भूमि स्वर्ग या मुक्ति की इच्छा से देवताओं के हेतु यज्ञ करने वाले ब्राह्मणों के लिए उत्तम स्थान बन गई है। तात्पर्य है, कहा जाता है कि जब कोई पुरुष प्रेम व्यापार में अत्यधिक फंस जाता है तो वो स्वयं को तथा दूसरों को तो भूलता है ही, वो कर्म करना और बात करना तक भूलने लगता है। ऐसी किंवदंती है कि एक मनुष्य के जन्मांध पुत्र हुआ, किंतु पिता ने पुत्र के प्रति अत्यधिक स्नेह के कारण उसका नाम पद्मलोचन रख दिया। अंध प्रेम की ऐसी ही दशा है। भरत महाराज मृग के भौतिक प्रेम में फंसकर धीरे धीरे ऐसी दशा को प्राप्त हुए। स्मृति शास्त्र का वचन है, यस्मिन् देशे मृगः कृष्णस् तस्मिन् धर्मान् निबोधते। जिस भूभाग में श्याम मृग के पद चिन्ह दिखें उसे धार्मिक कृत्यों के लिए उपयुक्त स्थान समझना चाहिए। श्लोक संख्या 24। भरत महाराज उन्मत्त पुरुष की भांति बोलते रहे। अपने सिर के ऊपर उदित चंद्रमा में मृग के सदृश काले धब्बों को देखकर उन्होंने कहा, कहीं दुखी मनुष्य पर दया करने वाले इस चंद्रमा ने ये जानते हुए कि मेरा मृग अपने घर से बिछुड़ गया है और मातृविहीन हो गया है, उस पर भी दया की हो। इस चंद्रमा ने सिंह के अचानक आक्रमण से बचाने के लिए ही मृग को अपने निकट शरण दे दी हो। श्लोक संख्या 25। चांदनी को देखकर महाराज भरत उन्मत्त पुरुष की भांति बोलते रहे। उन्होंने कहा, ये मृग छोना इतना विनम्र घुल मिल गया था और मुझे इतना प्रिय था कि इसके वियोग से मुझे अपने पुत्र जैसा वियोग हो रहा है। इसके वियोग ताप से मुझे दावाग्नि से जल जाने जैसा कष्ट हो रहा है। मेरा हृदय स्थल कुमुदनी जैसा जल रहा है। मुझे इतना दुखी देखकर चंद्रमा मेरे ऊपर चमकते हुए अमृत जैसी वर्षा कर रहा है, मानो प्रखर ज्वर से पीड़ित व्यक्ति पर उसका मित्र जल छिड़क रहा हो। इस प्रकार ये चंद्रमा मुझे सुख देने वाला है। तात्पर्य, आयुर्वेदिक चिकित्सा के अनुसार जिस व्यक्ति को तेज ज्वर हो उस पर मुख के कुल्ले से जल का छिलकाव करना चाहिए, इससे ज्वर घट जाता है। भरत महाराज अपने पुत्रवत मृग के वियोग से अत्यंत दुखी थे, अतः वे सोच रहे थे कि चंद्रमा अपने मुख में जल भरकर उन पर कुल्ले से छिड़क रहा है, जिससे उनका तेज ज्वर शमित हो जाए, जो उस मृग छोड़ने के विरह के कारण था। श्लोक संख्या 26 में शब्दार्थ मेरे पीछे बोले। एवं इस प्रकार अघटमान दुर्लभ मनोरथ इच्छाओं से जो मन के रथ के तुल्य है, आकुल दुखी हृदय जिसका हृदय मृग-दारक आभासेन मृग छोने के समान स्वārabdha कर्मणा अपने प्रारब्ध के बुरे कर्म फलों से योग आरंभणतः योगानुष्ठान से विभ्रांसितः च्युत सह वह महाराज भरत योग-तापसः योग तथा तपस्या करता हुआ भगवद-ārādhana-lakṣaṇāc श्री भगवान की भक्ति संबंधी क्रियाओं से च तथा कथम किस प्रकार इतरथा अन्य jāty-antare अन्य जाति योनि वाले एṇa-कुṇके मृग छोने के शरीर के प्रति āsaṅgaḥ अत्यधिक आसक्ति साक्षात प्रत्यक्ष निःश्रेयस चरम जीवन लक्ष्य प्राप्त करने के लिए प्रतिपक्षतया प्रतिरोध प्राक पहले परित्यक्त छोड़ा हुआ दुस्त्यज यद्यपि त्याग करने में अत्यंत कठिन हृदय अभिजातस्य अपने हृदय से उत्पन्न अपने पुत्रों तस्य उसका एवं इस प्रकार अंतराय उस प्रतिरोध से, विघ्न से विहत रोका जाकर योग आरंभणस्य, जिसकी योग साधना का पथ राजर्षि भरतस्य, महाराज भरत का, तावत तब तक मृग अर्भक, मृग छोना, पोषण भरण में, दूध पिलाने में, पालन सुरक्षा में, प्रीणन प्रसन्न रखने में, लालन दुलारने में, अनुसंगेन निरंतर ध्यान करते रहने से, अविगणयतः उपेक्षा करते हुए, आत्मानम अपनी आत्मा की, अहि इव सर्प के तुल्य, ivākhu-बिलाम् चूहे का बिल, दुरतिक्रमः दुर्लंघ, कालः मृत्यु, कराल भयानक, रभसः गतिमान, आपद्यत आ गया। अनुवाद मेरे पीछे बोले। सुखदेव गोस्वामी ने आगे कहा, हे राजन, इस प्रकार महाराज भरत दुर्दमनीय आकांक्षा से अभिभूत हो गए, जो मृग के रूप में प्रकट हुई। अपने पूर्व कर्मों के फल के कारण वे योग तप तथा भगवान की आराधना से च्युत हो गए। यदि यह पूर्व कर्मों के कारण नहीं हुआ तो वे क्यों कर अपने पुत्र तथा परिवार को अपने आध्यात्मिक जीवन के पथ पर अवरोध समझकर त्याग देने के बाद भी मृग से इतना आकृष्ट होते। वे मृग के लिए इतना दुर्दम्य स्नेह क्यों प्रकट करते? यह निश्चय ही उनके पूर्व कर्म का फल था। राजा मृग को सहलाने तथा उसके लालन पालन में इतने व्यस्त रहते कि वे अपने आध्यात्मिक वृत्तियों से नीचे गिर गए। कालांतर में दुर्लंघ मृत्यु उनके समक्ष उपस्थित हो गई। जिस प्रकार कोई विषधर सर्प चूहे के द्वारा निर्मित छिद्र में चुपके से घुस जाता है। तात्पर्य प्रभुपाद के द्वारा श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अगले श्लोकों में देखने में आएगा कि मृत्यु के समय महाराज भरत को मृग से आकर्षण के कारण बाध्य होकर मृग का शरीर धारण करना पड़ा। इस संबंध में एक प्रश्न पूछा जा सकता है कि भक्त के पूर्व दुष्कर्मों तथा पापों का उस पर किस प्रकार प्रभाव पड़ सकता है। ब्रह्म संहिता 5:54 में कहा गया है, कर्माणि निर्दहति किंतु च भक्ति भाजाम। जो भक्ति भजन में लगे रहते हैं उनके पूर्व कर्मों के फल की क्षति पूर्ति हो जाती है। इसके अनुसार भरत महाराज को उनके पूर्व कर्मों के लिए दंडित नहीं किया जा सकता था। इसका निष्कर्ष ये होगा कि वे जानबूझकर मृग के प्रति अत्यधिक लिप्त हो गए और उन्होंने अपनी उन्नति की उपेक्षा की। उनकी इस त्रुटि को तुरंत सुधारने के लिए उन्हें अल्पकाल के लिए मृग का शरीर प्रदान किया गया। ये उनकी भक्ति को सुदृढ़ करने के लिए किया गया था। यद्यपि उन्हें पशु शरीर दिया गया किंतु वे यह नहीं भूल पाए कि जानबूझकर की गई उनकी त्रुटि के कारण ही ऐसा हुआ। वे इस मृग शरीर से उद्धार पाने के लिए अत्यंत उत्सुक थे, जिससे सूचित होता है कि वे भक्ति के प्रति अधिकाधिक स्नेहिल हो उठे थे, जिससे अगले जन्म में उन्हें ब्राह्मण का शरीर प्राप्त हो सका, जिससे वे अपने लक्ष्य में सिद्धि पा सके। इसी दृढ़ विश्वास के साथ ही हम अपनी पत्रिका बैक टू गॉड हेड में ये घोषित करते हैं कि वृंदावन में रहने वाले कुछ गोस्वामी भक्त जो जानबूझकर पाप करते हैं, वे उस पवित्र भूमि में कुत्ते, बंदर तथा कछुए का शरीर धारण करते हैं। इस प्रकार वे कुछ काल तक निम्न योनि में रहते हैं और अपना ऐसा पशु शरीर त्यागने के बाद वे पुनः वैकुंठ लोक जाते हैं। ऐसा अल्पकालिक दंड विगत कर्मों का फल नहीं होता, भले ही ये विगत कर्म के कारण प्रतीत हो, किंतु ये दंड भक्त को अपनी भूल सुधारने और भक्ति में अग्रसर होने के लिए दिया जाता है।
Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yana Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta-pada-kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajitam Sahagana-Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajaya Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyaya Padhitanam Vanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Vadaya Krishna Vristaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Paschatya Satarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I think I will read also the purport to the verse 26 of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, because it gives further explanation of what Srila Prabhupada is saying in his purport. He fell from his position in yoga and worship of the Lord by the influence of karma of this life, which manifested a small deer to him. Prarabdha karma is of two types, auspicious and inauspicious. The first type occurs by the will of the Lord to increase longing for devotion to the Lord, like sharp ointment applied to the eyes. This is accepted favorably by the devotees. Being similar to prarabdha karma, it is accepted as such. That which creates more intense bhakti in the future takes place in those who already possess rati or bhava. The second type consists of results of actions of previous lifetimes, which manifest later as absorption in material life. In the verse, the first type is indicated by the word su in svārabdha-karmaṇā. He fell from his austerity of rejecting material enjoyment, which was produced by bhakti yoga, yoga-tāpaso. The word cha means even. Even though bhakti does not have great obstacles, he fell from worship of the Lord by the will of the Lord. How else could he fall, itarathā, except by prarabdha karma arranged by the Lord himself? He had already given up his sons, hṛdayo abhijatasya. Or he fell by the semblance of karma in the form of the deer. Though the jivan muktas do not have any false identity. They have a semblance of false identity. Similarly, those who have developed rati do not have prarabdha karma, but have semblance of prarabdha karma. Or he fell down because of the inferior abhasana, though auspicious prarabdha karma. Under the influence of his good prarabdha karma, Bharata took care of the deer. Otherwise, if he had been no good karma, he would not have a desire to care for the deer. Bharata's fall, however, was arranged by the Lord himself for the purpose of increasing his longing for bhakti after taking birth as a deer and a brahmana. The Lord has said, there is a quote from 10th Canto, chapter 32. Naham tu sakhya bhajato pi jantin bhajam yamisham anuvritti vrittaye yatha dano labdhadhane vinaste rachintayanyam nibrito naveda. The reason I don't immediately reciprocate the affection of living beings, even when they worship me, O gopis, is that I want to intensify their loving devotion. They then become like a poor man who has gained some wealth and then lost it, and who thus becomes so anxious about it that he can think of nothing else. This is 10th Canto, chapter 32, verse 20. There is a purport by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur to this verse. It gives further explanation of what Srila Prabhupada is saying in his purport, that Bharat Maharaj was put in this condition by the will of the Lord. It was not exactly his fault. Lord wanted to intensify his desire for pure bhakti, because otherwise he became attached to a deer. He became like a madman. So many verses describing his madness. He was so attached to this deer, he could not think of anything else. He could not think about his meditation. He could not think about the rituals. He was thinking only about this deer. So his attachment became so strong. Even when he was looking at the moon, he was thinking about this deer. And Srila Prabhupada is quoting from Ayurveda how one can be cured from high fever. Who remember how he can be cured? By gargling water on the person, yes. I tried it a few times. It helped very much when I had strong fever. One devotee, he took water and he spread on me, and in 1 hour I was get rid from the fever. So it works exactly like it described in this verse. I tried it a few times because sometimes I had fever and I did not have any medicine. So the water is very helpful in this case. When you don't have any medicine, you can try. It helps very much. It's famous purport. Rohini Sutta Prabhu likes to quote this purport. And the most famous purport is for the verse 26. This purport is, Srila Prabhupada is describing how dear devotee to the Lord is so anxious to bring us back to Him that He arranges the situation when we can even go to the lower species of life in order to intensify our desire. we are not so eager to come back to Godhead, he can arrange situation like this, especially if one attains the level of bhava and still he has attachment. The Lord can arrange very good situation. And there are similar stories, they have similarities. Does someone remember some similar stories from the Shastra when someone was attached and the Lord arranged the situation that he would get rid from his attachment? Someone, yes. Harsha Shoka and Maharaja Chitraketu was in a similar condition. He was so mad from attachment to his son. And the Lord arranged situations that he would get rid in the same life. He was get rid from this attachment, but still he has to take birth again as Vritrasura, yes, to completely become purified from attachment. The Lord arranged the situation. Any other story? Ajamil, yes. Ajamil was attached to the prostitute and the Lord arranged situation. He had to meet with Yamadutas to get rid from this attachment. Dhritarashtra was attached and Vidura has to preach very hard preaching to get rid from attachment. Kinnahush, so many examples. So many examples in the Shastra. So attachment is a common thing. It occurs very often. We are becoming attached. Do you remember some example of a person on the level of bhava who also got attached? Bilvamangal Thakur, yes, he was on the level of bhava. In his previous life, he was on the level of bhava, but still he has this attachment. So Lord arranged best situations that he was get rid, and his desire was intensified so much, and so he even get rid from his eyes in order to get rid from this attachment, because his eyes was full of attachment, so he took out his eyes and completely surrendered to the Lord. He went to Vrindavan and he met Krishna. Any other person who got attached to an animal? He got cursed. Yes. And from Chaitanya Charitamrita, person who became attached to an animal. Yes, he did not fall. Shivananda Sena, yes. He got attached to a dog. And also he was looking for him when he disappeared. He was looking here and there for the dog, but his attachment was a different type. He was attached to bring him back to Godhead, not attached in the same way as Bharat Maharaj. So he did not fall down because his attachment was to bring him to the Lord. And so the Lord fulfilled his desire and he liberated this dog. To dear, yes, Mother Sita. It was another type of attachment. To puppy dog. And he liberated this puppy dog. This puppy dog was chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Guru Maharaj likes to quote the story about puppy dog, and he says that if you want to keep a puppy dog, you have to be ready to liberate this puppy dog and chant him, get him chant Hare Krishna. If you can't do this, you should not keep a puppy dog. If you cannot do same thing as Lord Chaitanya did. So there are different types of attachments. There is a spiritual attachment and there is a material attachment. Material attachment is bringing us to the bondage. You would become bound by the modes of nature if we have material attachment. So Lord Kapila is suggesting us to transfer our attachment to sadhu. Guru Maharaj was given, in January he was traveling to Mauritius and Kenya, and he was given classes on this topic from the 25th chapter of 3rd canto. He gave maybe 10 classes on this chapter this month, and he was talking a lot about attachment, because it's very prominent, especially in material world. We can see that everyone is attached to something, to someone. Many people, they are attached to their children. They are mad because of this attachment. What will happen to my child? Many people are attached nowadays, attached to their mobile phone. And if they are losing from their sight for a minute or a few minutes their mobile phones, they are becoming mad. Where is my phone? So many attachments are there in our heart, and it can lead us to be born again if we would maintain our attachments. We have to be born again in this material world. And Srila Prabhupada is explaining the reason why we have so many monkeys in Vrindavan. What is the reason? Because of attachments. Srila Prabhupada is saying that these Goswamis of Vrindavan, nowadays, which are living nowadays, not 6 Goswamis, the Goswamis that we have now, they are attached to different sins, so they will have to be born again as monkeys, pigs, and some other animals, tortoises. Srila Prabhupada is saying that this story is giving me authority to say that this is the reason. The story of Bharat Maharaj. So, attachment it can become the cause of bondage, and attachment to a sadhu can lead us to liberation from this material world. So we have to learn how to transfer our attachment to a sadhu. First of all, we have to become attached to what aspect of sadhu? Instructions, yes. We have to become attached to the instructions given by sadhu. Because if we are attached only to the physical form of sadhu, it will disappear after some time. This form will disappear if we don't become attached to his instructions. We will be lost. So first of all, we have to become attached to the instructions given by a sadhu. We have to hear a lot. Every day we are hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and also we can hear some other recordings during the daytime, if we have an opportunity. When we are doing some services, at the same time we can hear. recordings of the classes by Srila Prabhupada, by our gurus, different sadhus, and we should become attached to these instructions. And we have to think how to apply these instructions in our day-to-day life, because every day we are getting some instructions. But how we can apply these instructions in our life, that should be our meditation during the day. We are hearing this shloka and purport by Srila Prabhupada, and we can meditate. How can I apply this in my life? And if we would meditate every day how to apply this knowledge in our life, so very quickly we would become purified. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is one of the 5 most powerful types of devotional service, and Srila Rupa Goswami is saying that even one of these 5 can bring us to ecstatic love of Godhead, not only purify us. We know from the first canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam can purify our hearts. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu, yes? It can remove all inauspiciousness from our heart. And Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya, bhagavat yuttama shloke. Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. It can make our bhakti naishtiki, yes? Can become irrevocable. Not only irrevocable, it can bring us to the level of ecstatic love of Godhead. So powerful is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. If we would hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam every day and would think how to apply this knowledge, very easily we can attain this level. So that's why Srila Prabhupada introduced this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class, that we would become attached to the hearing of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And we can read, if we have more time, we can read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam every day. Some devotees, they are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam every day for 2-3 hours. Like Vaisheshika Prabhu, he is reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam every day. He is reading around 41 pages from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So in 1 year, he is finishing all 12 cantos in 1 year. And he already did it 10 times. 10 times he read the whole Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And 10 times he read all other books, Chaitanya Charitamrita and all other books. Because for 1 year he is reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, next year he is reading Chaitanya Charitamrita and all other books, and next year again Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, next year again all other books. So 10 times he read all Srila Prabhupada's books. And he calculated, in order to do this, one should read 41 pages every day. And he organized website in which devotees are given the vow, I am reading 10 pages every day, I am giving 20 pages, I am reading 40 pages every day. This website is called BSH page by page. He called this website. So there are many devotees who are using this technique in order to read systematically, because sometimes we are lazy and today I read, tomorrow I don't want to read, so they are giving vows. I am reading every day 10 pages. So, and if you already gave a vow, you have to follow it. So it's good when we have some vow of reading some minimum. We can read more, but at least we have to have some minimum. I am reading every day so many pages or so many verses. Also, he has another website, chapter a day. Every day he is reading 1 chapter of Bhagavad Gita. At least shlokas. And Srila Prabhupada in one of the letters is saying that if you will read every day one chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, after a short time you will become a learned sage. So he read this letter, and from that point he started to read every day one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And he has a website, chapter a day, and devotees are given a vow that I will read one chapter a day. So this system is very helpful if you want to learn, to study Srila Prabhupada's books. It's very helpful to give some vows. And also we will become empowered preachers if we are reading systematically Srila Prabhupada's book. It will be very easy for us to preach on the basis of the Shastra, not just some we are saying something logical, but we don't give in any quotes. But if we would read every day one chapter, very soon we would remember this chapter. So it would be easy for us to quote these verses. So many devotees, they are using these techniques of reading chapter a day, of reading certain amount of pages. So we can use different techniques to learn the Shastra. And Bharat Maharaj, although he was very learned, he was very detached. In the age of 25, he left home. He was a young man. And at some point he understood that family, children, they are becoming an impediment for his spiritual progress, so he left everything and he went to the forest. But some attachment was there. So the Lord used this deer to uncover this attachment, because it was deep in the heart. And this attachment manifested in the form of the deer. And he became very attached, he became mad of this deer. So he has to be born again as a deer. But next life he became more serious. In this purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying that his desire to come back to Godhead intensified many, many times. In the next life he was completely determined that I will not have any other attachment anymore. So in the form of a deer, he went to the ashram of great sages, and he was eating only dry leaves, nothing else. He performed severe austerity, and he was born again as Jat Bharat. Yes, it took him 2 more lives. So it's not so easy to come back to Godhead in one life. Even Bharat Maharaj, who was on the level of Bhava, he has to be born again 2 times. So it's very dangerous to maintain attachment. So externally we may be very detached, but if some attachment is there, we will have to be born again. So we have to do very intense practice. Especially it's very good if we are doing our devotional service in the association with devotees, because Bharat Maharaj, he was doing it alone. So that was his difficulty. He did not have anyone to tell him that you are becoming attached. No one could tell him. So it's very dangerous to do the practice alone. There is nobody to tell you about your attachments. So we are very fortunate. We are in the association of devotees, and devotees can tell you that you are becoming attached. You will have problem. So there is a good fortune that you can practice with devotees. It's a very fortunate position, and we should do it very intensely. We should have intense spiritual practice, and we can get rid of all the anarthas. If we are doing it only with intensity, only 10% or 20 or 50, these anarthas can stay in our heart. But if we are surrendering and we are doing intense practice, intense japa, intense kirtan, intense hearing of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, so very easily we can get rid of all the anarthas. So we are in very fortunate position by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his followers. We have these nice temples. We can come together and we can do very intense practice. Maybe someone have some questions. Yes. Mike.
Thank you, Maharaj, for your wonderful presentation. Maharaj, if we compare the Srila Prabhupada's purport and Srila Vishwanath Thakur's commentary, it seems that in the entire chapter, Srila Prabhupada is stressing more on the downfall or the fall down thing, because it seems that Prabhupada wants to alert us more rather than going to other philosophical understanding.
Yes.
So Prabhupada, that's why he stressed more on the fall down rather than saying that it was by the will of the Lord.
Yes. But in this purport, he is saying this also. It's very important to understand that it was not accidental fall down. It was, the Lord has this purpose to intensify the desire of Bharat Maharaj. But we have to be very careful in our practice. This Srila Prabhupada is stressing more in his purports that we should be very careful. And we can be more careful when we are doing this in the association of devotees. Because when we are doing this alone, it's very difficult to observe your attachment. Very easily one can become attached and will not see this because he is becoming blind, like Bharat Maharaj. He became so blind that he used the Shastra to advocate his attachment. Although he has very deep knowledge of the Shastra, he has very strong practice, but he became blind. So it's very dangerous to do this type of practice alone. That was his main difficulty, that he was doing alone. He did not have anyone who can tell him.
Thank you very much. Very grateful for this wonderfully engaging class. You took views of everyone and the sharing of those pastimes. To me, that was very meaningful. My question is that it's in continuation of this query raised by Prabhuji. That of course, the Prabhupada mentions in the purport that it was to make his devotional service more mature, and it was not, in that sense, accidental. But towards the end of the purport, Prabhupada says that such punishment is only for a short period and it is not due to past karma. So far it's okay. But then he says, it may appear to be due to past karma, but it is offered to rectify the devotee and bring him to pure devotional service. If it is not due to past karma, then when you say rectification, is it because of misuse of free will? And if so, how does this misuse of free will happen? Because it is not due to past karma, but he's made a mistake which is rectified by the Lord. So how does this work?
Yes, this is explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that it was semblance of his past karma. Because when we are getting initiation, Krishna is through the Guru is taking this karma that we have, but he is not throwing away this karma. He is using this karma, semblance of this karma, in order to purify us. We are getting some reactions. This is semblance of our karma, but it's usually called Krishna karma. So Krishna is using our karma. It's not somebody else's karma. It's our karma. He is using our karma to purify us. Because when we see somebody else karma, somebody is suffering, it does not afflict us so much. But when it's our karma, it afflicts us very much. So we are taking it very seriously when we are suffering from our karma. So the Lord is using our karma in order to purify us. But it's not exactly the reactions for our past deeds. It's Krishna karma.
Thank you very much.
I may speak in Hindi, somebody can translate for you into English, or who else cannot understand Hindi. He does not understand Hindi, somebody can translate. So यहाँ पर दो पक्ष हैं. एक तो पक्ष है प्रभुपाद ने जो लिया है शिक्षा की दृष्टि से. प्रभुपाद की जो तात्पर्य हैं श्रीमद् भागवत के, ये शिक्षा की दृष्टि से हैं कि हमें बहुत सावधान रहना चाहिए और इस तरह से अपनी स्थिति का दुरुपयोग नहीं करना चाहिए. और भक्ति में आगे बढ़ गए हैं तो भी हमें बहुत सावधान रहना चाहिए. तो प्रभुपाद का जो तात्पर्य है वो इस प्रकार से हमारी शिक्षा के लिए दिया गया है. लेकिन दूसरा पक्ष है इस श्लोक में कि सुखदेव गोस्वामी कह रहे हैं कि ये उनका प्रारब्ध था और वो प्रारब्ध ही मृग के बच्चे के रूप में उनके सामने आया. और भरत महाराज तो इस भाव के धरातल पर थे, इतनी ऊंचे धरातल पर थे कि भगवान हृदय में प्रकट हो गए और भगवान स्वयं ही उनको बुद्धि योग प्रदान कर रहे थे ताकि वो उनके धाम में जाएं. ददामि बुद्धि योगम तम. तो भगवान स्वयं इतने उनके निकट थे और वो भगवान के प्रति इतने समर्पित थे. तो भगवान ने ही ऐसी स्थिति उनको बनाई कि वो हरण के प्रति आसक्त हो गए. उनको हरण का शरीर प्राप्त हुआ और फिर उन्हें किसी गुरु की और किसी साधु की सहायता की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं पड़ी और वो स्वयं ही संभल गए और भगवान के धाम में चले गए. तो ये उनका प्रारब्ध था और उनका इस जीवन में ही जाना निश्चित हो चुका था कि वो भगवान के धाम में जाएंगे. लेकिन प्रारब्ध के अनुसार उनको हरण का शरीर प्राप्त हुआ, फिर ब्राह्मण का शरीर प्राप्त हुआ. लेकिन ये कोई पतन नहीं है उनका. लेकिन जैसे वृंदावन के गोस्वामी हैं तो जो है विशेष रूप से जो पराई स्त्रियों के साथ व्यभिचार करते हैं तो उनका जो पतन है वो कुछ दूसरे प्रकार का है. और हरण के प्रति जो इनकी आसक्ति है तो वो इतना उसमें पतन नहीं है. क्योंकि कपिल भगवान कहते हैं ना तथा स भवेन मोहो बंधश्चान प्रसंगतः योषित संगात यथा पुंसो यथा तत्संगी संगतः. कि जितना स्त्री की आसक्ति में मोह और बंधन की प्राप्ति होती है उतनी दूसरी प्रकार की आसक्ति में नहीं है. तो वृंदावन के गोस्वामी जो है अगर वो व्यभिचार में अगर लगे हैं और उनको बंदर का कुत्ते का शरीर प्राप्त होता है तो उनकी चेतना उसी प्रकार की दूषित रहती है और वो फिर उस चेतना में बंदर की तरह ही कुत्ते की तरह ही वो व्यवहार करते हैं. वो नहीं अपने पिछले जीवन को याद रखते कि उनका पतन हो गया. लेकिन भरत महाराज को हरण का शरीर प्राप्त हुआ लेकिन वो चेतना उनकी उसी वही रही जो भरत महाराज की थी पिछले जीवन की. और वो सोच रहे मुझे हरण का शरीर क्यों प्राप्त हो गया. तो ये पतन इस प्रकार का नहीं है जैसा पतन वृंदावन के गोस्वामियों का होता है. लेकिन वृंदावन के गोस्वामियों का पतन जो होता है फिर वृंदावन धाम की जो है महिमा से उनका जो है उद्धार हो जाता है, वो अलग बात है. लेकिन भरत महाराज जो है बिना किसी सहायता के वो वृंदावन धाम की भी उनको सहायता नहीं मिली और ना किसी गुरु की ना किसी साधु की सहायता मिली. वो स्वतः ही आपने को उन्होंने सुधार लिया और भगवान के धाम चले गए. तो एक विशेष जो है योग्यता है भरत महाराज की जो योग्यता है वो बहुत ही विशेष है. और ये पक्ष जो सुखदेव गोस्वामी कह रहे हैं ये भी पक्ष भी इस पर भी हमें विचार करना चाहिए कि उनका भगवान के धाम में जाना निश्चित हो चुका है. प्रारब्ध के अनुसार अगर उनको 1 जन्म 2 जन्म और भी अगर लेने पड़ते हैं तो वो भगवान की ही संगति में है. हरे कृष्ण. हरि बोल.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, you are focusing on the sadhu sang, like if you want to advance in Krishna consciousness, by Srila Prabhupada mercy and their representative, we have so much. but this attachment, because of we have the experience of the material attachment, because of that, in my case, I'm not able to give up this attachment because I have that some kind of an experience in material life. And then when it comes to a spiritual life, that experience is lagging, or we need to put so much of hard work, or a lot of sincerity is involved. So there is always tendencies to drag towards the material attachment. In this stage, how to get more attached to the sadhus and then the instructions, if you can explain.
How to get attached more to a sadhu? It's very important questions, because this is our chance. Because our sadhana bhakti is very weak. If we would just think that by performing our sadhana we will attain perfection, we will not get perfection. Our chance is to satisfy spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada is stressing this in the purport to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 41, yes? Yavasayatmika buddhi, kehe kurunandanam, bhashakash buddhayo vyavasayanam. Again, Srila Prabhupada is quoting the purport of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that the real chance to come back to God, it is to satisfy a spiritual master. This is our real chance. So we have to use any opportunity to fulfill the desire of a spiritual master. We should hear very attentively what he wants, and we should try very hard to satisfy the desire of spiritual master. Then this is our chance. Sadhana siddha, yes, and kripa siddha. This is our chance to get this kripa, like one of the Srila Prabhupada's disciples, his name is Sudama Prabhu. Sudama Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada was giving a class, and after the class he said, if someone will open the temple in Japan, I will personally come and take him back to Godhead. So nobody wanted to go. And after some time, Sudama Prabhu, he volunteered, yes, I will go. And he and his wife Chintamani together, they went to Japan, and they opened the first temple in Japan, in Tokyo. Srila Prabhupada came there. He stayed there for a long time. He printed many books there. First full edition of Bhagavad Gita was printed in Japan, because in America they did not want to print such big book, so they printed only small version of Bhagavad Gita in America, and first full edition was made in Japan. And Srila Prabhupada was there, and Srila Prabhupada was so happy that they opened this temple. And maybe 10 or 15 years ago, Sudama Prabhu was leaving the body. And some devotees were sitting around him and chanting kirtan. And he was lying down for 6 months. He was not able even to move. Very sick, very sick. But at the moment of death, he sat down and he said, Srila Prabhupada, you came, and he left the body. So if someone would fulfill the desire of a spiritual master, his success is guaranteed. So we should try very hard to fulfill the desire of a spiritual master, and our life will become successful. This is our chance, because our sadhana is very weak. It will not bring us so far. We are chanting usually inattentively. Mind is wandering here and there. So this practice is giving very small result. But if we will try very hard, we will try to chant attentively, we will try to distribute books, we will try to fulfill the desire of a spiritual master, we will give 100% of our effort, so we will get kripa siddha. Otherwise, sadhana is very slow way to go. Usually Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur is saying that just by sadhana it will take 3 lives to go back to Godhead, just by sadhana. One life is anartha nivritti, next life is next step, and then, so it's his statement that it takes usually 3 lifetimes to go back to Godhead just by sadhana. If we want to go more quickly, we have to do something to satisfy spiritual master, including sadhana also. It's also instruction of a spiritual master. We have to put 100% of our effort to chant attentively, to hear attentively, to apply this knowledge. So it's also desire of a spiritual master. So there are two ways to go: sadhana bhakti, and also there is this effort to satisfy some very special desire of a spiritual master. And we know the desire of our spiritual master. He wants us to preach, to distribute books. So if we will try to do this to the end of our life. This year in Vrindavan there was a Prabhupada Katha on Prabhupada disappearance day, and Bhakti Sundar Maharaj from Caracas, from Venezuela, he spoke and he said, when Srila Prabhupada came to Caracas, it was 75 or 76, Srila Prabhupada was giving the class. At the end of the class he said, if someone will follow 4 regulative principles to the end of the life and chant and 16 rounds and distribute books, he will meet Krishna face to face at the end of his life. So if we will follow what Srila Prabhupada said, we would meet Krishna face to face. And he will take care of all our attachments if we will try to follow this instruction. This is personal instruction from Srila Prabhupada. So we have to be connected to this book distribution to the end of our life. Maybe we will not be able to run when we would become 70 years old. We would not be able to run with a big stack of books, but somehow we can sit with a table or with books. So we have to keep connected to the end of the lives, and we can get these blessings from Srila Prabhupada. Another occasion was by Devamrita Swami. He was given a class about book distribution. And he said, I personally heard from Srila Prabhupada that if you will distribute books to the end of your life, you will meet Lord Chaitanya personally face to face. So, Srila Prabhupada gave many blessings for those who are connected to book distribution, so we can try to do it to the end of the life. We can get these blessings. So it's time to finish. Grandharaj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.